We are back with the Heart and Hustle podcast. Mr. Derryck is in the house from the Y. There's so many of them, though, Derryck. Where exactly are you located in the United States?
There's so many Ys. We're the Y in Central Maryland. And so we're anchored in Baltimore, the heart of Central Maryland, and really excited to be with you today, Efrain.
Same, man. What's your title at the Y in
I'm
Maryland?
operating officer.
COO. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been in this role for 4 years. It's my 13th year with the Y, and it's incredible to believe that I've been here this long. Never imagined.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very, very long time. Is it because you were a member of the Y and that's what kind of brought you to this line of work? Like, what gets you to the Y for 13 years?
It's so interesting. So I came to the Y because I was looking for a job, really, truly. And I felt led with really no history with the Y. Like I kind of knew of the Y and I knew the song by the Village People. I just felt led this one evening to go to the Y's website and look for job postings, job opportunities. And we were looking for a leader here to come in and lead our before and after school division. And so I applied, and after a really long search process, the rest is history. When I came here, I thought that I would be here for 5 years max, and 13 years later, here we are.
Was there like anything that you went to college for that kind of led you to here? Or was this you just grinding it out?
Just grinding it out. I mean, my
Wow.
background is in youth development. And so obviously nobody serves more kids other than the public school district
Yep,
than
yep.
Y. And so I was familiar with the work of the Y and thought that there would be some significant growth opportunities there. That's what attracted me to the Y. But still, being a young, progressive, ambitious millennial, I really thought be 5 years max. What I did not expect was the opportunity to find home. I found a place
Yeah.
where I could grow and thrive, but also make some incredible change in our community. So here we are.
Shouts out to you. You mentioned millennial. I mean, shouts out to us millennials.
Right.
I actually just spoke to putting on an event and I spoke to the mayor of a certain area. When I spoke to her, realizing we actually walked the halls together, same school. She graduated in '07. I graduated in '08, and she's the mayor. And I'm like, let's go. Like, let's go to the millennials right now. We are definitely taking a seat at the table. Was
You
it
take
difficult when you took the seat at the table?
It was incredibly difficult. I will tell you though, what is more difficult now. What's more difficult now is no longer being the youngest person in the room. What's
Mm.
now is having unk status. My kids joke me and remind me that I'm a millennial, but I'm an elder millennial, as they say. And so, like seeing this new group of emerging leaders that are coming into the room and pulling up their seat to the table, and I'm quickly realizing that I'm no longer the young whippersnapper in the room has been really disconcerting for me. I've been talking about it in therapy.
I love it. Nah, I mean, listen, the unk status, I get I feel some type of way when I hear that. Like, yo, don't do that to me, bro. I feel young, okay? I still look good. You know what I mean? Stop, don't do that to me. But
I'll be talking to you.
yeah. But no, man, I appreciate you the hard work you've put in to kind of get into this role, right? To continue to fertilize the future. What does the CEO seat look like? What is your day-to-day job with the Y?
Well, it's a little bit of craziness. Every day comes
Mhm.
with its own surprises. The great thing about the why is that I have this opportunity to use my business acumen and my strategic brain and my desire to, you know, to win, right? Like and really be effective while being able to do that at an organization that has a charitable mission. But the opportunity to do that at scale. And so my job as the chief operating officer is to support all of our many operating verticals. The Y's work is so significantly vast. It really feels like we are about 7 or 8 different organizations rolled into one. And so each leader of our lines of business report into me, and they're on my
Wow.
team. And so that includes our early childhood division, which includes like our preschool work and Head Start and early Head Start and pre-K to our school age youth development programming, including our before and after school work, our community school work, our teen engagement work, as well as the work that we do in our Y family centers. So it's like what you would traditionally think of when you think of the Y, where you go
Hmm.
with your key tag to kind of check
Yep.
in, as well as all of our dynamic community health work. There's a considerable amount of work that we're doing to really address chronic disease, as well as to support folks in our community related to the social determinants of health, with a big bucket of work around social emotional learning. And then some of our strategic talent work also sits in my division. So that includes talent
Wow.
acquisition, workforce development, our learning and leadership development. So I'm really blessed to be surrounded by great colleagues who are competent, smart, and incredible at what they do, but also really good humans that I get to do life with every day.
Love that. Good human is important
Yeah,
because that's yeah, it makes a difference. It definitely does, man.
does make a
Um,
difference. It makes making talent decisions really easy at my seat. So
yeah.
when you work for such a large organization, by the time folks get to me in a search process, they've already been vetted. We already know that they are competent, that they're good
Yep.
at the job, that they can do the task. And really what I'm looking for is their values alignment, is their mission alignment, is this somebody I want to be in the foxhole with? Right.
Yeah,
And so
for sure.
it's the best. This is by far the most challenging job I've ever had, but also the most rewarding.
Were you in the corporate world before this, the for profit?
For a little bit of time, I was a banker.
Okay.
The
Okay.
financial institution that I used to work for, it doesn't even exist anymore. It was bought out by a really large bank whose name has to do with the name of our country. But before, when I worked there, I was actually a manager in the call center, and so led a team of folks who sold credit cards to people.
Okay.
And so what I do now is very different,
Yes, it is.
but
I used to be the Derek, I used to be the guy taking phone calls, but for the airline industry. So believe me, I get it. I get the call center vibe, the phone calls. I tell you what, though, I sometimes actually miss being on the calls. I mean, yours is probably completely different, but mine's just helping people. Sometimes there was this time where you could really help somebody make a difference. Those are the times that I really enjoyed. I didn't enjoy the calls that people just were entitled and disrespectful. I enjoyed them calls. I was definitely you got one more chance on disconnecting this call, right?
but I can only imagine because nobody calls the airline call center absent of an emergency, right?
Correct.
Everything is so self-service. If I'm calling the call center, it's because I'm stuck somewhere. I can't get it to do a thing. So I
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
you deal with tons of people in crisis.
What do you think that call center, just leading that call center, actually taught you that you still use today? I can imagine every part of your journey, there's something to learn there.
Absolutely. So it taught me the importance of being able to use my powers for good. So in the call center, I discovered what I'm good at. I discovered
Got it.
that I can lead and inspire people. I discovered that I could probably sell ice to an Eskimo. And
Okay.
I discovered that I like winning. And I don't like doing things if we're not going to be number one. And so
Yeah,
working in a very competitive environment, I realized was where I could thrive. Now, at the end of the day, not necessarily using my powers for good, right? Like
yeah,
my job was to teach the folks on our team how to sell folks credit cards that they didn't need, and once they got the credit cards, how to convince them to either transfer their balances from other credit cards to us, or how to get them to take like cash advances that they probably
yeah,
didn't need. And that, as I look back on it, felt like incredibly predatory, which is why I couldn't lend my life right to that.
correct.
And so what I have discovered through a number of different turns, right, like here at the Y, is where I can take all of those hard skills and use that to support building our community.
I love that. And one of the things you mentioned is just like getting the leadership. Um, you know, I once I realized that I was a leader, I'm like, oh wow, I am right.
Yeah.
Like it really starts to just the way that we think, the way that we start to operate, the way that we realize people are actually looking at us.
Yeah.
Natural leaders, a lot of the times, like these, we just have these qualities about us. But in you being a leader and finding that, what leader did you find yourself being? There's so many different ones out there, man. You know, there's the ones that are on the front line, putting in the work, but and you know, always remembering where they come from. But you also seen Derryck, probably some other leaders, you know,
Absolutely.
that are the complete opposite. What are your values as a leader now?
I've had the benefit of working for incredible leaders, and I've learned something from every leader for whom I've worked.
Mhm.
And I take different pieces of them with me. What I think is central for me is leading people first. It's about the people. And what I've learned two things as it relates to leading people. Number one is, as a leader, my subject matter expertise should be in leading and inspiring people. Then I go on my team and look for folks who have the specific subject matter expertise to do the thing, realizing that I don't need their subject matter expertise because they know how to do the thing. My job is supposed to be to lead, inspire, and to support them.
Yep.
And so really leaning into that as an expertise and building that muscle and remembering to put the people first, and then recognizing that the outputs will come and then eventually the outcomes will come. But recognizing that when folks are supported, when they are happy, when they're in an environment where they feel like they are seen and they know that they have an opportunity to thrive, is actually when they're most effective.
Yep. Yep. I like it, man. I love it. I love that you have really good values. You've made it as far as you have in the C-suite space. Clearly not the end all be all because you still got so many more years ahead of you, bro. Like you're definitely CEO, maybe within the next 5 at least. You know what I'm saying? If you choose, I can imagine it's there for you, Derek. I can imagine. I don't know. Just speaking into
No,
existence. You never know.
I am. Thank you for saying that. I'm blessed to work for an amazing CEO right now who just celebrated his 20th year, and I keep begging him to give us 20 more. He has literally changed our organization. He shifted the trajectory of our organization. Our association was actually on the verge of insolvency when our
Wow.
board brought him in 20 years ago. And to see where we are now is clearly it's not the same organization. I have learned so much from him and am learning so much from him. And what I appreciate most is that he's a tireless leader.
Uh-huh.
And so we're constantly pivoting and we're constantly growing. What I also recognize in leadership is that um, there is an art to being number two, and
Mm,
I've appreciated that in this role is that he is an incredible number one, and he gives me space to be number two and
love
to
it.
own um, our operations and to really lead our operations while he's out front, leading the strategy and pressing hand to flesh and doing all the things.
Hell yeah. So that means you're in the right seat to take number one at some point. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Thank you, Derek. Nah, I just joking. What makes him so good, Derek? Like what you mentioned him just being able to make those changes,
Yeah.
you really being a part of it because you spent a lot of years under you know, that umbrella.
Yeah.
What was making him so good? What was the changes that he was doing?
John has a great eye for talent. And so John believes in hiring people who have really deep expertise in
Okay.
a particular area and then moving out of the way and letting them lead. One of the key things that he shifted was around.
You have an iPhone.
I do, I do have an iPhone.
Too bad for you, bro. It's all about Android, but we'll let it slide, Derek. Just because we're talking about your CEO, we'll let it slide.
I do have it. It's somebody somehow penetrated the D&D, so I don't even understand. And
Oh, hey,
and it's
they
not.
called twice. It's usually you got to call 2, 3 times
Is
to
that what it
penetrate,
is?
right?
This
Yeah,
number is not a number that's on my D&D penetratable.
yeah.
So I apologize about that. But our CEO shifted our culture to be one where we, as I understand it, we used to hire folks who were jacks of all trade,
Yeah.
and really look for everyone to be a generalist. And what happened was we had a lot of folks that knew a little bit about a lot of things.
Got
And
it.
he readjusted our organizational structure, and really set up lines of business where we had a head of each line of business who had deep expertise in that one thing instead of folks
Yep.
being responsible for all of the things within a region. And that just allowed us to scale very quickly. And so, what he has taught me is that I hire really smart people that I respect.
Mhm.
I actually have this rule. I don't hire folks who are in a role that report directly to me unless I truly believe that they are smarter than me.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
have to believe that they are smart. Now, there's something that I'm supposed to give them, right? Like, it's still my job to inspire them and to coach them, and we all work on individualized development plans, and I'm here to see everybody thrive and want to see them go to the next level. But I have to fundamentally believe that they are smarter than me if they're going to sit on my team.
Yeah, no, that's good.
The secret to success for me.
I love it. You are right. You got to get someone in the room smarter than you, because if not, then how the hell are you growing, right?
Exactly.
Like you're
Exactly.
you're really at this ceiling right here. If I get more people that understand a little bit more, of course, you're a leader. We talked about it, right? You just lead others to
Yeah.
success, pretty much. How important is data in your role, man? We haven't talked
Oh,
about data.
it's so incredibly important. I mean, we have an organization where we employ up to 3,000 folks at a time, depending on the time of year. We are
Wow.
serving literally hundreds of thousands of Central Marylanders at one time. Our annual operating budget is around $115 million. And so, right, like our decisions are incredibly consequential. Every decision that rises to me are pretty significant decisions. And so we're not out here taking shots in the dark. We didn't get to where we are by accident or organically. It's with an incredible amount of intentionality. And so our decisions are data informed. And when I say decisions, I mean both, right? Like the development of our strategy, but
Hmm.
also around how we revise the strategy. So, I believe in continuous quality improvement. And so the data tells us where we need to refine things, where we've gotten it wrong, when, the predictive indicators are not suggesting that we're on the right path, and knowing
Yeah.
when to course correct and adjust.
Is it easier now, you say, with AI? You've been in the role for some time here. You've experienced, I can imagine, without AI, with AI. Is it buying you back time? I would ask.
It is, and but it's weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
so because we are in the people business,
Yeah.
um, the research tells us consistently across the board that folks who consume the services of the Y, whether they are in a program or accessing the Y through means that they pay for, or whether it's means that are complementary to them that a grant or charitable contributions are covering, people remain with the Y because of the people that they encounter, not because
Mhm.
of the actual transactional service or because of the machines in the building. It's the people in the building. And we see that across every single point of access at the Y. And so, because of that, we can't really replace our member facing associate roles with AI. Like, we can't have automated, you know, folks at the front desk. We don't have AI agents supporting our call center. We don't use AI as lifeguards, although some folks are testing it out, right? Like we're not doing that. We recognize that we need the people. Where we are leaning in and where we are using AI is to support some of our back office functions, some of that
Mhm.
analysis, to really be able to look at a myriad of data points to that we
Yep.
have, the folks in with the communities we're serving.
I love how you pictured that. Of course, it's to buy back time to continue to do more of the things that we love,
Yeah.
which is that people interaction, which is meeting people where they're at. So, definitely the right way, I would say, to use it. And I think every Y, if I'm not mistaken, they're very different, as in the things that they may serve, right, in the communities. What
Yeah. So,
makes you guys so different?
well, the saying is, when you've seen one Y, you've seen one Y. Um,
Mm.
Beauty of the Y as a federated system and a federated model is that each local Y has the opportunity to be responsive to the needs of that community because we know communities vary so significantly. And so sizes of Ys vary. You have some Ys that are very small and independent, and like literally that one Y is its own independent organization versus Ys that are a part of a larger association. And so we are in Central Maryland, we're one of the larger associations. Our service area includes Baltimore City and then the 5 counties that surround Baltimore City and Central
Mhm.
Maryland. So, you know, we have an opportunity to have some significant scale. I think what makes our Y different in addition to our size and is also our scope and the breadth of work that we do. So we have, you know, our Y Family Centers, which are hubs of community where folks can come and get healthy, but also more importantly, be able to connect with friends and neighbors and find a true sense of community. But we're also doing a considerable amount of work in the early childhood space and in the school age youth development space. It's you know, and all Ys serve kids and serve families, but we do a considerable amount of our work in schools. So we do it outside of our Y buildings, and so we do it in schools, and that work starts when the kids are in utero through early Head Start, and we support them
Wow.
post high school graduation in a number of ways.
Yeah, I think in my location, we have a small Y. I go in there and I could run around it in like 5 minutes. Like it just for
So what
them,
I'm
I could tell they they focus on school. I could
Mhm,
tell just by walking into it. Not school. They focus on swimming.
mhm,
So they got it. I can tell that by the pool they have outside inside, and then I guess they must focus like on the elderly, just because the
yep,
community I'm based in was a older community.
yep,
I think it's probably time for that Y to change it up, just because times have changed. But
yeah.
I could definitely you telling me just kind of the scope that you guys are doing and how big. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one next to me is definitely not producing these numbers. But with a Derryck, you never know. You know,
Tell them to get
the
we're happy to they can come up and benchmark us. We can help our friends.
I love it, Derek. No, this is really cool, man. What do people get wrong about the why? I can imagine that you hear so many things that people get wrong about the why. What are
Yeah.
those things you hear that we should just kind of like myth busters here?
And so, number one is people believe that the Y is just swim and gym. I think that so much of what they see about the Y is promoting membership at the Y, that folks think that that's all that the Y is. And I also think that folks believe that joining the Y is joining a gym when you're not. You're really joining a community that is invested in the broader community, a community that is a pillar
Yeah,
an anchor of the broader community and of the region. The second thing is when people see the Y, particularly in communities where there's a large Y association, they believe that the Y either has money or is or has an operating deficit. When the truth is, neither of those are actually true on its face. While we do have a charitable tax designation, so the IRS would consider us a nonprofit,
yep,
the reality is without margin, there's no mission. So we have to, you know, generate some sort of profit in order to remain in the black and keep our doors open. So, you know, as any business entity, we do have to make business decisions to ensure that our organization is sustainable. We can't, you know, just be frivolous in our decision making under the auspices of being a nonprofit. Um,
yeah,
on the counter to that, we also not rolling in the dough, right? Like, yep, we do have a very large budget, almost $115 million a year is what what we expect in terms of annual operating revenue. But the margins are actually pretty thin because all of it is reinvested into the work of our mission. All of it is invested into creating community for
hmm
every person to be able to find a sense of belonging and be able to thrive, to give every kid equitable access to opportunity. That's what we're doing here at the Y.
yep. Yeah. And all of this, as you mentioned, it comes really from partners in the community. We talked about the internal partnership, right, of you guys at the C-suite level, but that external partnership of keeping those relationships alive and allowing them to see the impact that is being created within their own communities. I mean, kudos again to the leadership of being able to maintain relationships, build relationships to get to a $115 million budget. Am I lying here? Like it's all about relationships building as well, right?
It is all about relationships. I mean, that is actually our work, right? Like our work is community work. It is
Yeah.
about, human to human contact. And that is actually what differentiates us in all of our lines of business from other folks that do the things, right? Like there are other places where you could go learn to swim. There are other places where you could go work out. There are other places where your kids could go when you need childcare. There are other places where your child may be able to go for camp. There are other places where you can go for tutoring, or the other place you can go for workforce development, right? Like there's always some other place where you can go. But the beauty of the Y, two things. One is there are no other organizations that are doing all the things, and being able to impact and support a community in a very like layered way that's responsive to the individualized needs of that community. But then also secondly, like we recognize that it's not about the transaction that we're
Yeah.
having, the folks that we're engaging. It's really about the relationships that are being built.
I love that, man. And I want because you mentioned a little earlier about you just being able to sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yeah.
I really want you to think about some of the programs that you guys offer, or even some of the, I guess, group classes. We talked about the relationships, right? They're being built in some of these classes.
Yeah.
What are some of those classes? You got to really sell me here now on some of these classes, that people can attend at your Y.
Well, the first thing that I would do is find out what you enjoy and find out what you need. And I can guarantee you that there is something that will bubble up that we're offering, that both meets the need, as well as entices something, that you enjoy doing. And so it really depends, right? So it's like, hey, are you looking to get healthy? Do you need to
Yeah.
get healthy? Is there a chronic disease, right? Like that you are navigating, or one where the doctors told you, that you're at risk. We can help you navigate that. Are you struggling with social
Got it.
addiction? We can introduce you to some friends, right? Like we got nutrition classes, we got stuff that will
Okay.
keep that thing. It's opportunities for you to volunteer. Do you want to mentor some kids? Because we got some kids that could use a caring adult that they're not related to. So like, come on, like whatever it is you need, we got you right here at the Y.
Yeah, I love it. Meeting people where they're at, it looks like what you guys are doing.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Derek, man, as we wrap up, man, where can people really be of assistance? How can people also invest back into the Y the same way you guys are investing back into your own communities?
Yeah, three ways. Number one, join your local Y. Join the community.
Yep.
Um, and when you do that, you are investing into your broader community, but you're also gaining access, to, I think, a real gem, and something that will benefit you and your family. Secondly, donate to your local Y. Hopefully you join us, but even if you don't join us, or even if you do join us, right, like making additional tax deductible contributions to
Yep.
the Y really becomes a force multiplier, and what we're able to do, and how we're able to support our community. And thirdly, volunteer at the Y. The work is, really deep and it's really meaningful. But there are real opportunities for folks to lend hands to help and support, whether that's helping us, at more episodically through like a community cleanup or another one-time event, or whether it's being a consistent volunteer at one of our fresh marts where, we are offering nutritious food free of charge to members of our community, completely powered by volunteers, or whether it's volunteering in one of our mentoring programs here in Central Maryland. We are also the local Big Brothers, Big Sisters, affiliate organization. And so we're supporting hundreds of young people here and providing them with a one-to-one mentor. And so we need more volunteer mentors in order to be able to serve more kids effectively. So come join us, come donate, come volunteer.
I love it, Derryck. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man. Thank you so much for the insight on what you guys are doing at this level. All spoken to some different whys, and you guys are definitely knocking out of the park. And I can't wait to see where else you go, man. We talked about it. We planted a seed, CEO. So maybe in the next couple of years, guys. If you go ahead.
No, I'm laughing at you. You're a
Oh,
comedian.
got it. I was gonna wrap up, man. You have anything else to say that you want people to leave with?
No,
Words of inspiration, words of wisdom.
I mean, I appreciate the opportunity. I think the wisdom, now that I told you I have UNC status, that I find myself often given our young and emerging leaders is recognizing that the jobs that we sit in, they are leased, they are rented. We have the deeds though to our names, and so there's an opportunity for every leader to really
Ooh,
decide who and how they want to be remembered. And that's our legacy. More importantly, remembering that who we are at work is never as important as who we are at home. I had a boss remind me one day as she was telling me to go home that on my tombstone, great boss would not be what was inscribed. It would be husband, it would be father, it would be son. The
wow.
people at home, the most important folks.
We'll leave it right there. This is Derryck. I'm Efrain. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. I appreciate it, Derryck.
Thank you, sir.